Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Friday morning Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind call. My name is Dave Savage, CEO of Mortgage Coach. I've got my wingman, Todd Bookspan. I don't know if he's below, side, but on the screen here with me. What's up, Mr. Bookspan?
Hey, not much. Super excited to be here today.
Good. It's good to have you, brother. And then a friend, a mentor, an industry legend. We have Mr. Bill Hillstead. Bill, welcome to the call. You are the special guest today.
Thank you. Super happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then Jen Duplessis is on today's call, although she's not video ready. She's been off vacationing and she doesn't want to rub in her tan, but she may be the voice that comes in. What's up, Jen?
I'm so glad I missed you guys for the last couple of weeks. Nice to be back.
We missed you too.
Yeah, well, we saw you on Facebook, rub it in. I'm glad you had a good time, Jen. By the way, even if I was in Hawaii, I still wouldn't have a tan. But anyways. Hey, so everybody, before I formally bring Bill into the conversation, I do want to shine a light on our Facebook group. If you are new to this call or you're watching the recording, we have a Facebook group called Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind. I bring in all loan officers. So if you're a mortgage professional, come on in. If you're a realtor, come on in. If you're already one of the, Todd, how many people do we have in this group now? Is it?
Over 1,500.
No,
we crossed that probably.
Now. Yeah,
well, look at that.
1,800. If you're,
surprise.
And by the way, yeah, right. And if you are one of the 1,800 and you want to invite a mortgage or real estate friend, invite them. I will say if anybody does things that are kind of spammy, I delete their email once and I block them the second time. So, this is a place for loan officers that want to collaborate around growth and success. So if you want to add that and help us grow, great. I do want to shine a light. Ryan Keeper, top mortgage coach leader, super successful branch manager, production branch manager. He made this post just 17 minutes ago. I think it's definitely worth reading, everybody, especially if you're doing annual reviews. He shares some strategies on how you can get more loans out of annual reviews. So this post just came in 17 minutes ago. Make sure you read it. And again, remember, folks, comment, let us know you're alive. If you got value from it, like it. And if you have something to say or add, comment. Let's see, we also had, we've had a lot of good posts. So, Vanessa, great question. Hopefully the community answered your question in a way that's satisfactory. Let's see, there's a couple others that I wanted to shine a light on.
Bliss Sawyer's got a cool one in there. Dave, Bliss has a really cool one. She took Lori Richardson's annual mortgage review questionnaire and she made a Google Doc of that she shared in there, which is really awesome. And there's just been a lot of great collaboration going on in there. So keep it up.
Yeah, by the way, here is the one from Bliss. 24 people liked it, 7+ comments. The thing I want to say about this one is that Bliss, she's doing annual reviews, and now she's packaging and promoting it, and she's sharing that with the community. So whether you're doing annual reviews and you're emailing, you're texting, you're Facebooking, however you're promoting that with your past customers and partners, share that in the group. This group is here to get better together. Also, I did a post called "What are the most important skills for the modern loan officer?" 29 comments so far. Guys, keep those coming. I'm going to work with Kristen Messerly over the weekend. We're going to put together an article that basically breaks down, these are the success skills of the modern loan officer. So keep an eye out for that article. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing the screen, go into Masterminding with Bill Hillstead. Let me set this up for everybody. So if you don't know Bill Hillstead, you should. I met Bill. Bill, has it been over 20 years? How many years ago do you think we met each other?
Probably like 93, 94. So
yeah, so long time ago. This was, I was a loan officer. My first time ever speaking. Literally the first time I got on a stage. And guys, I was nauseous for a week. I got to the place where I spoke. I couldn't eat dinner. I almost backed out. I mean, my wife, I think she was my wife because I got married in '91, but I was telling her, like, I'm out of here. Like, how could I make an excuse to get out of getting on this stage? But I think I went first, Bill, and then you went, and I never heard of you, and I was just like, oh my, I mean, just taking notes. We became close friends, and I would just tell everybody on this call, every time I talk to Bill, I take lots of notes, and I learn things that, first of all, some of the things I learned from Bill are part of the vision of Founding Mortgage Coach. Bill, I owe you a lot as an entrepreneur, so thank you for all the inspiration you brought into my life. One more piece of trivia for everybody. If you know the name Tim Brahim, this is the man who helped bring Tim Brahim into the business, and this is the guy that I think Tim would say it, like a lot of what he learned, probably everything of what he learned in terms of managing a database, creating clients for life. He learned from Bill. They were actually partners for years in the mortgage space. So, we're talking to an industry legend here. Bill, with that said, I think the call today, when you were coaching me up a week or two ago, you were talking about all these different ideas on how loan officers can build digital friends and how they, should be kind of building these 10,000 digital relationships. So why don't you kind of tell people what you're up to, and then let's have a mastermind.
You got it. As far as what I'm up to, same thing as always, Dave. Same thing as 20 some years ago. Working more of a think tank than anything else. I just, nerd out, have ideas, test things, do whatever, get to play with things. And don't ever have to execute long term. It's a great life. So ironically, it's been social media for me for the last couple of years, and I kind of been freaked out, and it's ironic because everybody who knows me knows I'm nerdy and introverted and reclusive, and I go on Facebook maybe once a month personally, but it crushes anything I've ever done. I've been the biggest CRM guy anybody has ever met. I do a whole presentation now called Friends Don't CRM Friends, and it's not that I don't want you to use a CRM, but I've never personally gotten anything from a CRM that I was so excited about. I don't need another, sorry guys, market update or cookie recipe or newsletter. And we found that we could do an infinitely better job with social media. And it's pretty simple. Depending on the source you quote, between 72 and 90% of your past clients can't remember your name 12 months after you close a deal with them. They like you, 86% of them say they'd reuse you or refer you, 10% of them ever do, and somewhere between 7 and 9 out of 10 can't even remember your name. Even, oh, God, I loved him, he was great, but what was her name again? Started with an S. And social media makes it possible for me to make anybody I've ever met or ever meet never, ever, ever forget me again. I never lose a deal to obscurity. But the key is you can't do it the way everybody else teaches it. You can't do it organically. You can't do it the old school way. Only 16% of your friends even see what you post. It's not legal to promote yourself on your personal page. Most of your compliance departments won't let you. And if you go to a business page, you're between 2 and 3% of your followers see, and you don't have any followers because you go out and beg, please go follow my page. And nobody really wants to follow your page, and you post crap and they don't want to see it. And it's just, and you don't have many followers. And so today, I'll show you how to instantly convert every friend you have into a follower on your page, every one of them. And then follow that up with more or less everybody you've ever traded a phone call or email with, and move them into a custom audience. So basically anybody you've ever met, anybody you ever meet moving forward will be in an instant database for you. And you'll be able to reach, instead of 3 to 16% of them, you'll reach 60, 70, 80, 90% of them. And then the growth side, because everything's grow and nurture a database, Dave, on the growth side, you can put 5, 10, 15,000 people in there that you hit over and over and over that are clearly perfect matches for you, the kind of people you'd be friends with. They only want to do business with friends. And the key is, it's the repetition, Dave. If I do 100,000 Facebook ads, that's about what it takes for me to generate a loan. It's not bad because I might pay a penny an impression for those ads. So I pay $1,000 for the loan. But if I take those 100,000 ads, oh, I'm sorry. If I take those 100,000 ads and I only hit 2,000 people 50 times, I'll pull in between 15 and 25 deals out of it. And the key is the repetition, reach, impact, frequency. It's what it's always been.
So Bill, I want to center this around this big idea, because we've been advocating hard this year. I mean, we've advocated forever that loan officers should do annual reviews. We've advocated forever that, hey, if you had 1,000 past customers and you put them in your database and you did an annual review, you would close an extra 100 loans a year. So about 10% for every 100 past customers.
Spot on.
1,000 past
12.
It's 10%. And if you've got 500, that's 50. And I still believe that. I still think, hey, put those in your CRM, have a multi-channel relationship, do an annual review. And really, if you only did those two things, you'd kill it. Now, I look at you kind of like this social marketing turbocharger, because I do believe to have that customer for life, you do need to do an annual review, and you need to emotionally connect with them throughout the year. Whether that's, a birthday card. It sounds like what you're going to teach us right now is really the gateway, so that we can, have these 1,000 customers. We can emotionally engage, although in your world it sounds like 10,000, and then we can do annual reviews. So I just want to make sure we validate that, and then I'm going to take down the screen, and I want to let you share your screen and show us how to do all this. How do we get these custom groups? How do we take our database of past customers and people that we've talked to and put them, make them Facebook friends?
Right, great. It'll be fun. And by the way, you nailed it with 1,000% agreement. The annual review and an emotional connection. And it's that emotional connection that everybody misses, because all we do is send them. And that's the problem I have with all of the traditional CRM stuff, is just a whole bunch of mortgage crap that nobody cares about. That's not an emotional connection. This morning, 48% of the women in the country checked Facebook before they got out of bed. And the number's smaller for men, but it's only because we have tiny bladders and we checked it later. That's where friends go. How do I get that emotional connection? So here's my example. Once a month, when I do go on Facebook, there's always a post there from a guy named Rick Ming. And you're like, who's Rick Ming? Oh, he's my friend from Ventura, California, where I grew up. Really? So how do you know him? No freaking clue. Could have been Little League, grade school, kindergarten, high school. No idea. He might not even be a real person, but I think we're friends. And the key is you can be that person. I think we're friends because he's always there and he posts interesting stuff. You can be that person with anybody you want. You can pick them by name, or you can pick people that have insanely specific targeted interests and profile and income and demographics, and you can be in their feed as consistently as their very best friend. And I swear to you, Dave, it's possible in 3 to 6 months, they'll start to believe that they know you. They will know, like, and trust you, even though they've never met you.
Well, let's drill down on that. And so, by the way, Todd, I'm going to open it up for questions to see if you have questions in about 10 minutes. Jen, if you have any color to provide, be ready in about 30. And with that said, Bill, I am going to share the screen. And if you could, give us a lesson, tell us how, show us how to put in our database and put people in, and walk us through your thoughts.
All right. So, by the way, just here's the stats for you. Between real estate and mortgage last year, we spent $14 billion of our own money, not counting company money, to generate 11% of our business. And yet 67 came from referrals and repeat business. You throw in social media, networking, everything that we call branding, making people remember you. 78% of your business comes from your brand, and 11% comes from your marketing. And yet we spend 14 billion on marketing. And the irony there is, even though we spend all that, like I said, we're a little delusional because only 10% of those people ever use us. And then the stats that we were talking about, Dave, 8 to 12. When you have a strong tie with somebody, we see consistently, and I'm a nerd, I track the hell out of everything. It's 8 to 12%, and that's what you're going to pull. So let's just get into what we do and how we do it. Well, actually, I'm going to pull that back over real quick. For starters, and I'm just going to borrow a couple slides out of a few presentations instead of doing the whole things. Database. Look, I've been preaching database since, I think it was what I was preaching on stage the day you and I met. I'm sure it was. It's all I've ever preached. He or she with the most friends wins, period, done, end of story. How do you have the most friends? Nobody really has a good, clean database. Most people have the equivalent of a couple pages of the yellow pages. It's just, people don't really know them. They don't stay in touch. The addresses are bad. The emails are bad. But you have this ability to do it on Facebook and everything's instantly correct. So let me just give you one example. In Facebook. So here's a Facebook. When you go into Facebook and you open your ad manager, you have audiences. And so if you open your ad manager on your Facebook page, and by the way, Dave, I'll share with everybody a smart sheet over here that has every tutorial, every link, where to do things so that people don't have to learn it all today. But I come in here and I can do things like, if you say create an audience and say custom audience, you can import any database you have. Your old Point Calyx files, your Encompass files, your old Zillow leads that you did with a realtor. My personal favorite is LinkedIn. I went to LinkedIn, and if you go to LinkedIn, it's pretty simple. Go to your little me, and I don't know if it says it up here, I have 1,678 connections. So I go to me, I come down to settings and privacy. This is just one little random side tip, but works. Everybody should do it. Download your data. Okay, great. I want to download my data and request a new archive. I only want, and see, everybody gets their connections. I have 1,678 connections. I want my 1,678 connections. No. LinkedIn is the best. I mean, they are the best at finding everybody you know. They always want to import your Gmail, your old AOL, your whatever. I don't know how they do everything they do, but they're always finding everybody that I have some loose tie with. So that's your imported contacts. So check these two boxes. I want my 1,678 connections. I want my imported contacts. So, and it takes 10 minutes to do this. If you do a complete and you get all this other junk, it takes a day. But just get these two. I have 1,678 connections. When I did this export, I have over 10,400 people in that. And when I do that, and I don't want to wear everybody out and tell me how much detail you want me to go into, but if I take those, I just take the email column, delete everything else but the emails. Well, now I've got 6,500 good emails or actual emails that I pulled out of LinkedIn, even though I only have 1,600 contacts. And then I come over here to Facebook and I say create audience, custom audience, import CSV file, and I import that email block. That's it. That's all I've done. But nothing advanced here. And for me, it then turns into, dang, if I were to close it, I want to say it's like 2,400. 2,400 people in a custom audience that when I post and boost to, I can reach 60, 70, 80% of those consistently. I'm always, so instantly, because Facebook's matching. Is this a good email, a bad email? Did they sign up with it? Does this person exist? Now, we can do a lot of other advanced things to get more people, and we can use phone numbers and we can pull in other databases. But if everybody just did that, everybody who doesn't have a database, in 15 minutes can have a database on average of, 1 to 5,000 people that they can be in front of, like I said, weekly, multiple times a week, as consistently as their best friends. Just one simple little task.
So time out, everybody. So if you knew about this and you have done this, let us know in questions like, hey, I did this and this is what I did. This is huge. By the way, this is recorded. So anybody that, missed it, you can watch it again and Bill will show it to you. Todd, any thoughts or comments so far?
So just a quick clarification point, Bill. I was at the Gary V's Agent 2021 event this week, and they were talking about building your brand on Facebook. And I know here you're looking at your Facebook business page. Do you feel that people should eliminate their personal page and only have a business page if they're going to be using that to promote? What's your thought there?
You should, and look, friends are what wins. The more friends you have, the better you do. But my personal opinion is your personal page should be for your real friends, to hang out with friends, the ones that I don't have to worry about them seeing me with the red Solo cup and you know, a little extra glow because I'm out engaged in some sort of debauchery. Keep your friends there. Never promote your business on your page. Facebook cancels over 1,000 personal pages a day for people promoting themselves because it's against their terms of service. 2, you can't boost or advertise or do anything, no lead ads, no nothing on your personal page. So you should have a personal page for your personal stuff. First thing you need to do though is you need to move everybody over from that personal page to your business page. So you never ever create a business page from scratch. This, by the way, I just stuck this, it's my notes from my basic class. So I stuck them up at a URL, marketing3.com, marketing3.com. Anybody can go there and access this. And right here on row 4, profile to page, AKA friends to fans. This is how you get out of the personal page problem, because all my friends are there and all my not friends are on my page. Use this migrate link. First, watch this tutorial, but if you click this migrate link, and I can't find this on Facebook, no matter how I navigate, they don't really highlight it. But if you click this link, it takes you to a back-end utility that lets you turn the Bill Hillstead page into the, or excuse me, profile into the Bill Hillstead page. And every one of my friends will instantly be a follower unless they've opted out of following pages or set their privacy into some. So 95% of them instantly following my new page. And now I don't have to worry about that whole page profile thing. I'm doing it all from a page.
All right, that's awesome.
Great.
We can all get off the call. That was our money's worth right there.
Yeah, no, that was huge. So by the way, Bill, we did have a question come in. You know, Facebook has announced some new, you know, algorithms and changes. You know, how does that impact the advice that you just gave us?
Great question. So Facebook, and it all started with the election, Zuckerberg feeling guilty because he thinks he swung the election and was manipulated. And Facebook's becoming cheesier and cheesier, and it's all just, you know, cat videos and stuff. And he wants it to be about real connection. And this is an announcement, which is more of a publicity play because they make these changes constantly. It's not really a big deal. They're just constantly evaluating what creates a better experience. All they want is a good experience. So they're just weighting the algorithm a little bit more towards engagement, which they've always been doing. It's been a steady trend. You have a page rank and an affinity score. So when you post a whole bunch of stuff from some posting service that you pay for and nobody engages and nobody cares, Facebook looks at every post you make and goes, nobody likes your stuff. We're going to show it to fewer people next time, and fewer people next time, and fewer people. Whereas if a lot of people engage, they show it to more and more and more. And I can tell you that, you know, evil marketers can manipulate the hell out of that, which is what they're trying to get away from. So they're weighting comments more heavily than they ever have. Comments from friends, what your friends are doing, playing down news, and going further down the path, which is the essence of everything I do, which is Zuckerberg declared there's no free lunch on Facebook. Nobody shall promote their business on Facebook for free. And now they're pushing that even further. So the news services and whatnot that put up real viral, nope, forget it. You're getting promotion, it's for free. So they're moving further and further away. You got to pay. So my PowerPoint, that last slide, I have three rules. This is all it takes. And it's funny, Dave, because, you know, I've been the super nerd for 25 years. I don't need anything but Facebook anymore. You can take away everything and I could build, it's unlimited business. Knob, turn it. And this is it, these three. You got to get lots of people. You got to send them cool stuff. It's got to be cool stuff. They got to want to engage with it. And you got to give Zuck his due. And that last one is the holy grail, because today there's probably 150 other Facebook classes going on. And every one of them is trying to teach you how to do it organically. And it doesn't work. And they're steering everybody down the wrong path. The beauty of give Zuck his due is it's so dang cheap it's just enough to keep everybody else out of the sandbox. There's 28 million small businesses in America. There are less than 2 million small businesses on Facebook worldwide. So it's my private playground right now.
So give us a perspective as a loan officer. You know, let's say, you know, you and Tim, you were bringing Tim into the business, and he was going to start with his LinkedIn profile, load it up, plus his past customer database, and let's just say 10,000, you know, when you really look at the math. What kind of budget does a loan officer need to make on a monthly, you know, give us a little more color on what is good buck is due. What does that mean?
Okay, so here's the budgeting. And by the way, you're going to pull in 3 audiences. You want 3 audiences that you're going to market to. So this first one, maximize your fan base, meaning, or your followers. You're going to do that little conversion thing that Todd and I were talking about. So we're going to convert all of your friends on your profile into followers on your page. Next, you're going to put everybody you know, everybody you've ever traded an email. I have an AOL address that I got in 1989. I haven't used since probably when we first met. I pulled in 523 emails from that and contacts of people that I've dealt with that were in my market, and it worked. And then last, you're going to create a target market of ideal people. And then those are your markets. That's who you're going to market to. And the budget that I recommend for people is roughly allocate a nickel a month per person. If I'm marketing to, you know, hey, great, I got my 2,400 people, I'm gonna spend about 100 and, you know, whatever. Good example, realtor working with recently in Colorado Springs. Her name was Tina. And we pulled over the first 2 audiences and we converted her friends to fans. She had like 2,500, but her budget that she could afford was much bigger. And so it's back to grow. So I'm like, all right, now we need your future friends. We got your past friends, your current friends. Let's get your future friends. Tina, what are you into? And she's like, well, ecotourism. And so ecotourism and scuba diving. And I'm 54. So let's say people between 46 and 64. Oh, and I work with 3 different charities. So anybody that volunteers for those 3 charities. Oh gosh, what else? Oh, art walk on Saturdays, once a month on the first Saturday of the month. Anybody that really loves the art walk, I love the art walk. Oh, and we went on and on. And then at the end, we're like, audience is still a little big. We need to pare it down to match your budget. Tell me some people you don't want to work with. And so then we said, oh, only people that make over 150,000 a year, have a net worth over $250,000. Conservative and liberal. Oh yeah, I like both, but you know what? I really don't like Rush Limbaugh. Let's eliminate Rush Limbaugh lovers. And a true story. I mean, she started picking out all these weird. And when we were done, we had an audience of 16,000 people, all within 10 miles of Colorado Springs, Colorado. She was ecstatic. She's like, these people are already my friends. We just haven't met yet. If I ever met them, that's going to cost her about $800 a month. Gary Keller says that if I market to those people 33 times a year consistently, I'll pull 2% out of it. Strangers, we find that you can get it up to about a half by the end of year 1. Maybe it's a quarter, 6 months in, might only be 0.1%, 60 days in. But that's 40 sides a year. It's costing her $800. By year 2, she should be up to a half. Now she's pulling 80 sides a year. And the numbers are identical for mortgage or real estate. I can tell you that my average cost to generate a loan last year was $281 on Facebook. My average cost for an impression on Facebook was 0.7 cents. Sometimes you'll spend twice, 3 times, 4 times that, but the math still works.
Wow. I mean, boom. So I've got a lot of questions come in, people asking for slides, where's the spreadsheet? So first of all, this is recorded. I will, once it's uploaded, will be a couple hours from now, I will push a link to this into our private Facebook group, Mortgage Coach Mastermind group. 2, Bill said he would share this spreadsheet. A lot of you have asked for that. Bill, can I ask you to actually make a post into our Facebook group and put a link to this so that people can just click on a link in there?
Yeah, am I allowed to post in the group? I'm part of the inside.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Please. By the way, guys, everything up here, All the attachments are the paper clips except for the links. The bubbles are the notes. There are 4 foundation. Here's the foundation. 2, I've got to reach. I got to have my social database. 3, impact. What do I post? What content? How do I do it? 4, how do I get the traffic and how do I get the exposure? And then I do weekly coaching calls, and all those are recorded in here. So when you want to know how to build your target audience, like I was talking about for Tina, you just click on this. So everything's there. Don't worry about getting all your notes. I have all your notes for you.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you. This is a massive gift to the mortgage coach community. Also, you know, Bill said something that I hope people really took notice to, that Facebook is, you know, putting more weight on likes and comments, engagement. So, you know, my ask to you, I get thank yous all the time where people are like, hey, these videos and interviews you do are great. My ask to you, the way that you pay us back, because they're free. Our YouTube channel is free. This group is free. Like, comment, and share. So if you know, wherever this is posted, if you got value from it, like it, comment, you know, and to me, the best comments are either good questions or great answers. So please, you know, this community that we have, it's only as good as you who's watching it and participating in the community. So Todd, any other questions for Bill? I've got a lot to go through, but I want to give you a chance. And Jen, I'm going to give you a chance to ask a question.
Absolutely. So I know you said on your spreadsheet you've got a section on the content. Can you just give us a quick overview on what is the cool stuff that you're sending to people?
All right, I'll be as quick as I can, but that's the biggest topic. The rule of ah. If it doesn't make somebody say ah, don't send it. And so the ah is, you know, ah, cute, puppy, kittens, babies, whatever. You know, ah, shock. Oh my God, did you see that? Ah ha ha, laughter. The aha. Oh wow, that's interesting. Ah, inspiring. Or even anger. But if it doesn't evoke an emotion, back to Dave's opening comments, if it doesn't evoke some sort of emotion, don't send it. It can remind them you're in the business. And my rule is simple. 80% reminds them that you're in mortgage. Only 20% sells. And we only sell. And to remind, I just want to show you an example. Here's a realtor. His name's Chris Prickett. He's in a little community called Anthem, Arizona. There's 13,000 households in Anthem. And a year ago, this past August, he was opening his own company. And he's a stud of a realtor, you know, multiple transactions a month, doing great. But now he's going to the big time. And he wants his company to be called Prickett Real Estate. And so the project goal was, how do we make him the best known person in his market? The market doesn't have to be geographic, but his was. So for him, and this is not what you do, it's just one of many strategies, we went with the interview strategy, where we had him go out and do quick interviews, and everything's cell phone, super cheap, super simple, interviewed local businesses. And I can tell you that if you guys ever see a realtor with more than 500 views on a video, you've seen something amazing and shocking. But you look at this and you can see that, oh yeah, here's 1,700 views, 11,000 views, 1,500 views. And then as you get further up here, oh, and by the way, when I talk about remind them what you're doing, what does this have to do with business or real estate or anything? Damn near nothing. It just reminds him he's in the business because everything's branded. And by the way, square videos will pull almost twice the views and engagement of a rectangular video. There's a lot of reasons. So we do square videos, use the meme style commentary, put some branding at the top. Even if they do a scroll by, I still get the brand impression. It just works insanely well. Here's another example of somebody doing the same thing. Kenny Cloud. Oh, by the way, Chris top 24 deals this past September, about 200 for the year. He is now number one by 3-1 over anybody else in his market. He gets on his videos, he consistently gets between 25 and 30,000 views a month. He's top 50,000 views twice in a single month, and there's only 13,000 houses in his market. Kenny Klaus, same thing. And I love this because it's his first interview ever. It was a dry cleaner. You're like, why? Who would want to? Hey, Kenny closed 128 million last year in Mesa, Arizona, where the average sales price is under 300,000. This is what turned him or turned Prickett. And by the way, with Chris, it's not just him. You'll notice a lot of these videos are done by, scrolling too fast to even watch my own stuff like this. 12-year-old daughter of his assistant, Emma.
Hi, this is Emma Van Ravensway with Cricket TV.
And there you go, just doing a little, and he's got correspondents that do it for him, so he doesn't have to do it all himself. I send people, and what you'll see on this sheet, to things like if you go down to content, I want you to go to DrumUp. I want you to go to paper.ly. I want you to go to Scoop It. I want you to go to Feedly, and all of these will let you set up a feed that feeds you all the most viral content there is related to any topic. And the whole idea is I don't have to create any content. I only have to comment or curate content under fair use law. And this is the mistake. This is huge, guys. We've all got millions of views because we share videos. Well, I don't share videos. I take those videos, download them, and alter them. And under fair use law, if I alter it materially and create new content, if I alter it for editorial, commentary, example, or demonstration purposes, it becomes new content, my content, and then I reshare it. And I share it from my page. So now it goes on its merry viral way, and everybody's coming back to my page. So I don't just share, well, here, I'll show you an example. All it takes is some commentary. And by the way, I don't do this myself. I send it to my clients and say, this is what you should do. So these are examples. But like, so I saw this article about the DoorDash robot food delivery in wherever it is, San Francisco. I thought, damn, that's cool, but how do I tie that to real estate? Wrote this caption: driverless cars showing homes for real estate agents. Shut up. Then I open with driverless. Well, no, not quite. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. Check this out. And all I did was put in an intro and then showed the story about this stupid little robotic ice chest that drives around and delivers food to people. And I didn't pick this on my own. See, what I think doesn't matter. I go to trend trackers like BuzzSumo or google.com/trends/hot videos, which is where I found this one. And I found a hot new video that was trending, that was getting a ton of shares. I knew it was viral, and I turned it into my story. You know what? Our friends, Frank and Brian, those guys don't make up stories. They don't have investigative reporters, so Brian comes close. They find news and re-report news. They recompile it. They do whatever. And I've got tons of these. And all you got to do is throw some commentary at the beginning, preferably some sort of question that will drive engagement. So I agree with 3 of the author's 4 points. Great article. I think they're off on one. Curious what you think. That gets more engagement, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just find good stuff. And whether I redo it as a video, throw some commentary on it, whatever. And then I use watermarks like the square video or dropping a logo on it just to make sure. Your profile image should be your picture with your logo down in the corner. Just little reminders that you're in the business. And then every 5th post, your something about a new loan program or reminding them they need to do their annual.
Love it. So by the way, comments are blowing up with value. I mean, people are just loving this call, Bill. So you and I have been talking a lot about the annual review. You believe that it is a cornerstone to a successful modern mortgage professional. I've been, advocating this for a long time. And one of the things that we're seeing more of our members do is they're creating videos where they're, either explaining the annual review and call me if you want one, or they're telling stories like, hey, I had a family did this, and they're telling a story that gets leads. And I want to see more of our members promoting annual reviews, via email, via social. What should a mortgage coach who is, has that as a service, like, hey, I give annual reviews to all my past customers. What are some ideas and what kind of content should they create around that? And how could and should they promote the fact that they do that on Facebook? And I also would like to expand some advice around YouTube, if you could share some thoughts there.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot. Most important when you're trying to get new people, or you're trying to, most important that you look cool, that you share things they like. That's kind of that's the nurture portion of it. I use a lot of opt-in things. You never try to, hey, nice to meet you. Would you like to get married? It's no, we start with coffee or a date. What's the download? What's the thing? So I would definitely offer some mortgage coach analyses or services, putting up some examples. Stories are one of my very favorite. Interviews. Obviously, Dave, you're, as evidenced by right now, the interview machine. So like I do a lot of first time buyer stuff. Search. And sorry, I think I'm running out of bandwidth here, but I can't do a lot of, okay, yeah, let's go with that one. We'll take, and nope, that's personal. Sorry, guys. But we'll interview clients. We'll get their little, would you mind? And we'll grab things like that. So if you do annual reviews or whatever, would you mind doing a quick little, and we post stories, especially with the millennial market. Millennials do not trust advertising, period, done into story. Ads don't work. They trust social media, friends, people they know. So we do a lot of these interviews. Dang, I'm sorry I couldn't do it because I know Bob has a bunch of good interviews on there.
Hey, don't worry about it. So I mean, the bottom line is create stories, and then if you could give us some leadership around when do we post something in YouTube, when do we put it into Facebook, and how should we leverage both of those channels?
Facebook for data nurturing, Facebook for lead gen, Facebook for traffic, YouTube for authority and for rankings. It's a great place to collect all of your videos, because then Facebook will let you put a YouTube tab. It's one of their options. So now I can have a tab with all my videos in a collection on my Facebook. I'm even toying with people. We don't even bother with websites anymore. We buy a domain name and point it to their Facebook page, and they have their YouTube videos and their downloads and their whatever. Everything can be there. You can actually use it as your web page. But I archive all my videos on YouTube. And if I'm looking for rankings, and quite often I'm not, but if I am looking for rankings, I do it on YouTube. And here's your quick tip on ranking on YouTube, because rankings are all about content, period. The most content around a single topic. It's called probabilistic latent semantic indexing. It's how Google ranks things. It's what their patents are about. And basically it says, if I'm looking for solar powered widget, what is the statistical probability that every other word in the English language will show up in the same sentence, in the same paragraph, on the same page as solar powered widget? And they score the presence of all the words. So the more content you have around one topic, the better you're going to rank. I just have to show you an example website we did some years ago. Let's try physician home loans. Where are you, Dave? Oregon. Let's do Oregon. And so by the way, I work with people that work their farm, their target market is antique collectors, it's law enforcement, it's Bikram yoga fanatics. It really doesn't matter. Like Tina, it's ecotourism, scuba divers. But look at this, when you create all this content, it's FAQs all around one topic. Whoever has the most content around a single topic becomes the world's leading authority on that topic. And by the way, I think it was last June, Josh topped up 100 fundings in a month, if I recall. Whoever has the most topics.
I do want to add to, anybody watching this, Josh Metal has carried over 1,000 total cost analysis. I've interviewed him, countless times. If you do want to see, how Josh Meadows is using Mortgage Coach in the marketplace, go into our YouTube channel, type in Josh Meadows, and watch some of those interviews. I couldn't help. And by the way, Josh will love it, the fact that you just gave him a plug at just how incredible he is.
He's a machine. I wish he could be my mentor. The guy goes home by 5:30 every day. It's family first. He's the most balanced human I know. So anyway,
Todd Bookstrom has coached him a few years, and he's good friends of our crew here, so that was cool. So guys, we're at 15 minutes or we got 15 minutes left. And by the way, I know you have more to show us on this, and I do want you to do it. But I also want to give Jen a chance. Jen, is there any questions you have for Bill at this point in the conversation? Jen, you're on mute if you're trying to talk.
Oh, can you hear me okay? There we go. Sorry.
We can hear you now.
On your phone, you can't tell if you're on mute or not. It's just really weird. I do have a couple of questions and a couple of comments, so maybe I can just run through them really quickly. I don't really know where to get started here. Well, let me just start with this. There was an interview that you had done, Dave, obviously with Nicole Solari on the Paperless Open House, and one of the comments that she had made, either on that one or on a subsequent interview with her, is the point about making 12 comments or likes on several people's posts, and that would allow for us, for any post that you then make, to have more bandwidth. And I'm just curious to know, Bill, if you have experienced that as well, is just, in the low level version of getting us, to this point, and not.
Okay, so
Take time out. Go ahead, Bill.
Okay, I was gonna say, tell me if I get too far into because man, I can give you all the really edgy stuff, but straight up, probably the most important thing anybody could do, other than that original setup stuff that we went through in the beginning, once you've got your stuff in place and you want to build everybody needs to belong to a social circle. If 10 of us get together and we're in different markets, whatever, one might be a realtor, one might be a financial planner, whatever, but I've got a group of 10 or 12 people, and we agree that we will always, likes don't count as much anymore, especially with the new changes. They're okay, better than nothing. Shares, subscriptions, follows are the holy grail, but comments are what they're really trying to focus on now. So we agree that we will comment on everybody else's stuff in our group whenever they post. So I know I've got 10 people, they're going to post once or twice a week. I got to comment on it. My comment might just be the word cool. By the way, your engagement is a critical factor on the comments. When you get comments, if you don't reply, you get scored down and it hurts you. Facebook has an auto reply feature. Everybody needs it turned on. But 2, you need to set your text notifications and always reply to comments. Even if you just give a thumbs up, manipulative marketers will just write the word bump sometimes as a comment if there is no other comment, because every time you comment, it pushes your content back to the top. It's like doing a whole new post. I don't have to come up with new posts. I just keep commenting and bumping it back up. I can tell you, we've got one business out of the industry. We do Facebook Lives. We've got a circle of about 80 commenters, supporters, fans, whatever. And that's about the threshold it takes when you're doing a Facebook Live. If you've got 80 people that will actively comment, to top 1 million views on a Facebook Live of just a conversation like this. How about that?
What? Hey, so by the way, we have huge. Oh my gosh. So my head just blew up on that. And the beautiful thing is, one, we have over 100 people on this call. 2, I'm sure we will have hundreds of people that will watch this video. And I do plead, you're in the mortgage coach community, comment. Give us, I've always said like or comment. It sounds like I just need to just start saying comment and share. That is where the attention is. And again, the reason Todd, myself, Jen, that we do these calls is to create impact. We want to add value. We want to help mortgage professionals take your success to another level. And so it sounds like we need to all be commenting more on each other's important
articles. We need to support each other, and we have to ask more questions. Never do a post without a call to action, a CTA. But your call to action isn't come do a loan with me, whatever. Call to action is, what do you think? And from time to time you put up posts that are purely created to get engagement, because that drives your other posts. For example, I buy my glasses from Zenny Optical online because you snap your picture, and then when you mouse over 30,000 glasses, it tries them on you. Well, one of them that I found was particularly effective for those of us who wear glasses. Yeah, just go through there and mouse over and do a screen capture of 4 or 5 of those and say, hey, thinking about getting a new pair of glasses. I like one of these. My wife likes one of these. And the 3 others were picked by coworkers. What do you think? People love to give their opinion. It will blow up. You will get so many comments, and that raises your profile in Facebook, and your next post will get shown to far more people. Ask, how many states, I'm curious, how many states have you lived in? That post will double your viewership for a while moving forward. So you got to get the engagement.
Real quick, one, I want to make sure in this call that we do push, and I'm going to put a link below to the paperless open house by Nicole Solari, because it really is a lead generator. You know, this is a realtor who did over 200 transactions last year, only been in the business for 4 years, and open houses were her number one lead source. So check that call out below. And Jen, I'm going to throw it back to you in a minute, but Bill, because we have so many people in our community doing open houses, and Facebook is a great tool to help drive, you know, folks into open houses. Any quick advice on, you know, a loan officer and a realtor that are kind of partnering on an open house, you know, just 2 minutes, you know, you have any quick suggestions on how to use Facebook to drive that?
All right, the one skill everybody's got to develop very quickly is this audience creation stuff, because you realize I can drop a pin on a map and just say everybody within 10 miles or 20 miles, who is likely to move, who has children between the ages of, who makes this much money, and there's over 100,000 variables. And it gets crazy, and you got to watch some of the trainings that I've got up there on how to create. So you can market and push and get everybody there like you wouldn't believe. And then the other thing is, I'm just trying to become friends with people on Facebook. I just want to be able to read. I want them in my database. But they don't have to give me their name and phone number. They don't have to sign into the open house. If they go to, it's an engagement audience. When you say create custom audience, you say engagement. Anybody who watches my video, anybody. So when they come in, if I say, oh yeah, go on Facebook and take a look at, I got them, and now I can market to them over and over just from that and continue to follow them. If I do have something to give away, the local listings, the whatever, well, now I can have them go on and actually sign up. And by the way, all lead gen for me is on Facebook now, because 90% of my leads, and I create thousands of leads, come from a cell phone. Nobody fills out text on a cell phone. Hell, we're doing it while we're driving. Facebook auto-populates your name, email, whatever. So all you got to do is just go learn more, submit, and you're done. So I always have some sort of a lead magnet when I'm there. How do I want to grab people? Two, I can market. It's targeting, Dave. It's just crazy how you can target. The one that's up there, I market to people who are married between 21 and 37, who are looking to buy a home, who rent, who make between 40 and 125,000 a year, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. And I know they're mine.
I love this. By the way, Nicole mentioned that for every open house she does, I can't remember if it was $10 or $20, but she boosts her open houses. So that's cool. By the way, I want to remind everybody again, you know, if you watch this from our Facebook page, like it, comment. Let's see if we can blow this thing up. And if you're watching this from our YouTube page, give us a like and comment there. Let's just see how much we can boost this particular video in the mortgage coach community. Jen, we only got about 5 more minutes, but do you have one more question?
Yeah, I do. I have several questions, Bill. I just friended you on Facebook. I had to multitask to make sure we could connect. But so what's, you know, I hear you with all the lead generation and all that. It's fantastic. Love what you're talking about. I love the content. To what extent? I'm always looking at what's next. What's the next step to take this and put it in action? So I've got a ton of friends. That's wonderful. I'm doing all this posting, but to what extent are you suggesting that we pull the relationships offline? Because I'm a huge advocate of, you know, I get a lot of requests from realtors to be friends of mine, and yet they don't want to meet me. And I'm going, well, no, you can't be my friend if you can't meet me, right? So to what extent do we want to try to pull these relationships offline?
I always want to build the relationship offline, but But really, in all relationships, it's what's most important to them. And some people prefer to, in 2017, just fun stat for you, Facebook interaction doubled human interaction in the United States. Live with that one for a minute. We spent twice as much time relating on Facebook as we did in person. I fly everywhere because I want to meet, I want to talk. That's what's important to me. I've got 4 kids in their 20s. If I call them right now, no chance in hell they're picking up the phone. It'll go to voicemail, and 32 seconds later, I'll get a text. What's up? What do you want? I wanted to talk on the phone. That's why I called you. But
right, I know.
Try to meet people in their space would be my thing. And I'm not trying to build the relationships here as much as I'm trying to stay in front of people. I'm trying to be Rick Ming. I want to be the guy that I think I know. I want to be the guy that 10 or 20,000 people know, like, and trust. And then let the chips fall where they may. I just shared the stage with the financial plan. He used to be the #1 financial planner in the country. And he built his entire business. His whole shtick is, I built my business off of wine lovers, private pilots, and Cornhusker fanatics. Because the moment I met any of those, we were guaranteed to be friends and to have something to talk about. Only he had to go to Cornhusker games and wine tastings and private airports. I go on Facebook and say, hell, why not just combine them? I want wine-loving Cornhusker fanatics who like planes. I can do anything I want and be in front of those. I help a realtor market himself to ideal first-time homebuyer candidates who love the Game of Thrones, because that's what he's into. If he meets somebody else who loves Game of Thrones, they'll have something to talk about and they'll be friends. So all I care about is what's the connection, and I don't worry about online or off.
Okay.
All right. So,
Thank
Jen,
you.
I would love to let you ask more questions. We got 3 minutes left. And I'm pretty sure this will not be the last time that we have Bill on a Friday call or a Tuesday call. In fact, I know that because Bill and I, we had a talk before this talk. And what led up to this talk is he was telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, wait, we got to let our community in on this. So there'll be more questions. Make sure that when I post this, ask those questions. Put them in the Facebook page, or the link or the YouTube below, so that next time I bring Bill in, we got a list of questions from the mortgage coach community, and please share this to the friends that you want to see have value. So I am showing our group again right now. My screen share is showing that. If you are not already connected to this group, just do the search. We will approve you if you are a mortgage professional, a real estate professional, and just a reminder, guys, engage, share, ask questions. Todd, I will give you the last question. We got 2 minutes. Anything you want to ask Bill before we wrap this up?
I think that people are going to want to connect with you, Bill, and I know that you said on the spreadsheet we're going to have a link to your recordings and stuff. How else do you want people to learn more about what you're doing?
Oh, hell, I don't know. I don't have anything to sell. You know what? You can friend me on Facebook, LinkedIn, email me. I'll put up my email as well. Whatever you want. I do those workshops. I do them sponsored by a company, but they're a cool company and they're happy to let anybody who wants share. So I'll share that if you want to come on the weekly workshops and go through the social media mastery stuff. And then that sheet is, like I said, it's not formal because I'm not charging. I post all my resources and goodies and stuff up there, so that'll help them follow.
Love it.
That was awesome. I haven't seen Dave so excited about a call in a long time, and you definitely delivered, Bill. That was great. Thanks so much.
We just nicked the surface. I feel like I forgot to say so much, but I know I'm too long-winded.
No, you were not. This was a great call. There just is that much content. So, it's that simple. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to think about. I look forward to keeping this conversation going. I just posted the poll question. Let us know what you thought of today's call. If you got lots of value and exceeded expectations, let us know. If you're a guest and you want to demo a mortgage coach, and by the way, if you are a guest, what we just talked about will help you get a lot of leads. Mortgage coach will help you convert them into loans and into clients for life. So that is what we are here to do. By the way, Bill, I do think this might be the best survey results I've ever seen. So you completely crushed it with value. Yeah. I think, I don't think that was the best survey results I've ever seen on a Tuesday or Friday call. So I'm super grateful, my friend.
Thank you. Hey, I'll return the compliment, and you know this, and I know that you don't like me saying it in front of people because you've shut me up a few times, but forever, because I judge who I want to work with, and I only want to work with people I know. And how do I judge a mortgage company? By their attrition rate. That's my one metric. How do I judge an LO? Do they use mortgage coach or not? For me, it's the ante into the game that tells me, am I dealing with, like Tim talks about, that bottom layer of the, are they professional? Do I want to refer a friend to them? Do they know what they're doing? And it's pretty simple. Mortgage coach makes you look smarter than, hell, it makes you look smarter than you are. It makes you look smarter than everybody else. So that's that's my minimum price of entry. And if somebody's there and they're serious, then I know they are passionate about the craft. My part's easy. I just make the phone ring. How many leads can you handle?
I love that. Well, thank you for always being an endorser of Mortgage Coach. Grateful for it. And together, we are helping loan officers take it to the next level, and we're helping families make great decisions. Everybody, have a fantastic weekend. Bill, I'm looking forward to our one-on-one next week. And take care, everybody.
Take care.
All right. That was awesome.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Good to see you again, Jen.